Arrival of Rice by Sudha Murty. A long time ago, humans could walk on clouds and wander freely in heaven. One day, Madhav, a mortal, became curious about how gods lived in heaven. Where do they work? What do they do all day? What do they eat? He wondered. So, he walked up to heaven and met many gods. He found out there were several gods and goddesses responsible for different departments in the realm. There was the god of water, the goddess of learning, the god of courage, the god of good health, among others. But the goddess of grains, Annapurna, fascinated Madhav the most. He asked her, Devi, I want to see the way the agricultural system works here. What do you eat and how do you produce it? Annapurna called him home and fed him a sumptuous meal. One of the ingredients was a delicious, soft, white food that looked like a grain. I have never seen this or eaten this before. I don't think anyone on earth has either. This is delectable. What is this? He asked. This is rice. All gods eat rice. It gives us energy and mixes very well with all vegetables. Madhav agreed with her. As long as I am here, I would love to eat this every day, he said earnestly. The goddess smiled. Of course, Madhav. Eat as much as your heart desires. The next day, Madhav asked her, How is rice grown here? Will you please show me? Since he was really keen to know, Annapurna took him to the rice fields to show how the bed was prepared, how the seeds were sown, how the water was retained, and how it's replanted during different stages of its growth. When the rice grains were ready for harvest, they took on a golden color and formed a bunch. Such a beautiful sight to look at, he thought. After that, the goddess showed him how the harvest was pounded from grain to rice. There are a variety of pounding styles and each style had a different name. Rice emerged from the pounded grain, which was then ready to be cooked for a meal. Madhav spent a few more days in heaven and then asked for the goddess's permission to go back to earth. During his last dinner there, he thought of his wife, his parents, his children, his siblings, and his village. I want everyone to taste the magic of rice at least once in their lifetime, even if it is just 1 teaspoon. I am afraid to ask the goddess, so she is sure to refuse my request, since this is the food of the gods after all. So Madhav took 4 seeds of rice and hid them in his turban. He knew no one would think of looking for the seeds there. Madhav came back to earth, quickly planted the seeds and took care of them the same way Annapurna had shown him. When it was time for harvest, he followed the process, he pounded and he made the rice. He made a sweet dried dish with the white rice, then closed his eyes and first offered it to the goddess of grains. Annapurna heard his prayers in heaven and she came down to earth. When she saw the rice, she became furious. She said, Madhav, you have betrayed my trust. I respect you for the love of knowledge and appreciate your curiosity. But you have stolen from me. Had you been truthful, I would have given you something myself. You must be punished for being a thief. Madhav touched her feet and apologized. Mother, I did this because of my insecurity. Please forgive me. We all are your children, and I wanted to share the taste of rice with others too. It was just not for me or for my selfishness. Moreover, I have also shared the knowledge of growing rice with others. This is so much better than what we eat and makes us energetic too. Wouldn't you like your children to have this? Please, I request you to pardon me. Annapurna sighed. I can't argue with that. I know that your intentions were good. Now that rice is here on earth too, I will always send a sign when it is right time to sow seeds. I will wash my hair in heaven, and when I push my head back, the wet hair will fall on my back and the water will be flown down as rain to the earth. That will be the best time for humans to sow the seeds. The only punishment that I can give now is that no mortal will be allowed to come freely to heaven anymore. They will be allowed to do so only after they discard their body at death. And that is how rice started growing on earth. Thank you.